Welcome to the Mountain BOCES Culturally and Linguistically Diverse Learners Program. What is the English Learner PD requirement? Educators must demonstrate completion of training or professional development activities equivalent to 45 clock or contact hours or 3 semester hours in culturally and linguistically diverse education. Educators with previous CLD training or past experience can count it toward their new English Learner professional development requirement and their 90 clock hours of professional development requirement for renewing their educator license. For a more detailed explanation of the English Learner PD requirement and timelines, go to this direct link on CDE's website. The Mountain BOCES is offering up to 90 clock hours of CDE-approved professional development. Thank you for registering for the Mountain BOCES Culturally and Linguistically Diverse Learners modules. Each of the 18 modules is designed to provide a minimum of 5 hours of participation. Candidates in both the Alternative Teacher Licensure Program and the Alternative Principal Licensure Program will be participating in 90 hours of CLDL as required by the Colorado Department of Education. The CLDL modules have been added to the time logs provided in those programs. ATLP and APLP candidates may also participate and log English learner hours from professional development required in their district or building. Educators participating for license renewal may choose among the topics, track and submit individual certificates using the ELL standards matrix provided by the Colorado Department of Education, or request the CDE-approved English Learner Professional Development Pathway through Mountain BOCES after completing 45 hours. The Colorado Department of Education prefers one certificate for educators participating in 45 hours of CLDL coursework for professional license renewal. You would then essentially trade 9 5-hour certificates for the CDE-approved English Learner Professional Development Pathway through Mountain BOCES. A time log for organizational purposes has been developed for licensed educators who may be participating in fewer than 45 hours required to request the CDE-approved English Learner Professional Development Pathway through Mountain BOCES certificate. Use the time log if you choose to. It's optional. Now let's take a closer look at some of the documents that I made reference to. First, I'd like to share the CLDL time log, which again is optional for your use unless you're in one of the alternative programs and then you have a different time log. You will be asked to make a copy. I highly recommend renaming it and saving it to your Google Drive or downloading it as an Excel document if that's your preference. You can see there are 4 tabs. The first tab is instructions on how to use the log. The second tab is the dashboard, which will keep track of the hours that you're spending with the modules. The third tab is the time log itself, which again is optional, but you can certainly submit it as proof of your learning. The way you use this spreadsheet is to enter the date, the start time, and it's essential that you use AM or PM. And I'm going to put a couple of hours in here. So it logs the 2 hours in that column. It's on standard 1 initially because they're in order, but in each row you have a drop down to select a different element, and you can see where that makes the change to standard 2. Going over to the next column, you can select which module that you're logging hours for, or school and district professional development, in which case you would then provide different evidence outcomes. And this is just a short list of activities in which you could participate. So that's pretty much the time log. When you go back to the dashboard, you'll see that you have 2 hours in standard 2. and it will total the hours for you as you move along. The Mountain BOCES has been approved to provide 90 clock hours of teaching culturally and linguistically diverse learners in the education prep programs, those being both alternative teacher licensure and alternative principal licensure programs. In an effort to not duplicate efforts and to address the needs of professionally licensed educators in Colorado, we have developed 18 separate 5-hour modules. There are a couple of other documents I want to share that might help you understand where we went with this. This document is a cross-reference between the matrix submitted for approval and the modules cross-referenced. This document is really just an FYI because you don't need to do a matrix if you're going to be certified through the Mountain BOCES. This document is the modules and matrix cross-reference, which is just a different view of the same thing, but they are there for your viewing as an FYI. This may be necessary if you choose to participate in fewer than 45 clock hours, in which case you will have to submit the ELL PD standard matrix when you relicense your professional license, and it looks a little different, and it's blank, and it's available for you to download and keep a copy for yourself. There are many districts, schools and districts who provide professional development, and you may just need to kind of substitute some of the modules for the training that you have in your building or district. So in which case you would use that standards matrix when you relicense or renew your professional license. Now looking at the 18 different modules, you can see the different titles and decide what's appealing to you, what's of interest to you, and start there. I will tell you that each module is set up for a minimum of 300 minutes, which is the 5 hours required for learning in each of those modules. We've tried to provide a variety of resources and activities. You'll see some videos, you'll see some articles, you'll see direct links related to the topic. When you see this icon, that blue and green icon, that indicates that you are looking at a forum for discussion. That forum is something that you need to participate in. So I get this one to open, and you'll see that you'll have a prompt for discussion, and you may select to add a new topic. And if you're the first one there, you don't have a choice, but once a new topic has been established, you can simply click reply if something's of interest to you to engage in a conversation with other colleagues on the module. Either way, the module is designed to indicate you have participated. Because these modules take up so much space, they really take a little bit of time to refresh, so be patient. You'll see that there's another forum for discussion and then a culminating activity. When you see that hand, that indicates that it's a culminating activity that's being made available to you in both Word and Google Docs. And so you can choose which is most comfortable for your work and then submit. Going back to the first module, again, it takes a while to refresh. When you come down to the end here, you'll see that this certificate will be available to you once you have participated in the discussion forums, any other activity, and the culminating activity for each module. Once you have done that, this certificate will automatically generate. We'll have the date of completion. Will indicate which module in which you participated and will be sent directly to your email. It's actually a pretty nice system that requires very, very little monitoring, which is why we at Mountain BOCES have decided to offer these modules at no cost to any educator in one of our member districts and at a one-time $50 fee for anyone else wishing to participate in a minimum of 5 and up to 90 hours for the same $50 cost.